Very
my
posh.
house problems
Tell
on
us when.
stream.
This is
Tell us
what I
when.
meant. This
Tell
is
us
what I
when.
meant. Yes, let's go ahead. This is what I meant when I said I was
All
gonna
right.
do
So,
that.
bit of context. Every single plug in my room, apart from my main desk light,
Is a butt plug.
is connected to a single fuse, plus some of the plugs in my parents' room downstairs.
Yeah.
One of the plugs is not working.
Yeah.
One of them. That
Yeah.
means every single plug in my room is not working, which means I cannot charge my computer.
Oh, dang.
So
Damn, bro.
basically, what you're saying, you have no electricity in your room.
Basically, apart from for my desk lamp. That's it. Because
How,
that's
how are
plugged
you
into?
powering your desk lamp, though? What sorcery
So my
is this?
I think when he says fuses, I'm pretty sure
Did
like
you just,
there's
like,
probably
walk
one that's like to the
away
outlet.
to-
I think he's talking.
It's friction powered.
I think when he says fuses, I think he's talking about like it's to the it's to like the plug he puts his laptop in, and then he plugs his laptop into him, but then the desk lamp is on a completely different electrical line outlet,
Yes.
so that's fine. Why don't you just plug it into the one with the lamp?
Yeah.
Because that's a complete. Hang on, I'll take a picture of the socket.
You just you said what? I didn't hear that.
Let's
This is going
crowdsource
to-
it.
I really see this.
Don't
becoming-
hire an electrician, just crowdsource it.
Yeah, increasingly more complicated. And
Just
like,
start a GoFundMe for my new for
We'll
the new.
we'll solve all your electrical
yeah, we're
problems.
gonna solder your like £15 million mansion.
Well, wait. Do Indiegogo so you can keep the money even after if you don't reach your goal though.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to solder
Alright.
wiring
No,
usually.
hang on.
It's
Give me
not
a
usually a
second,
thing.
I'm gonna send you some photos in the studio.
Stod.
Alright, so
This
Do
is
you
really
solder
good.
electric?
Is corn
This-
sorry, go.
This is my lamp plug. This is not the standard one you get.
I
in,
cannot
the UK.
believe that rich people live like voluntarily in houses that look like this.
Okay. What's the deal with this? What's the
I
deal
can.
with the plug?
They reject
I
modernity
don't know.
and embrace tradition.
So why
They
doesn't
still
this
have
one
candle
work?
lamps.
Wait, why doesn't
No,
this?
this one does work. This
Yeah.
one does power.
Yeah.
But that's because also I just noticed the lamp on the top of my cupboard also works.
Okay, but
Which
what
means-
is the thing about it that is special that means that you can't plug your
Not
PC
special, it's
into it?
just really annoying. It must be one. So I don't know what I have a suspicion because we've never had this problem before.
Okay.
We've never had this problem with my room specifically. It's always been like, oh, we put too many electrical devices on at the same time. The fuses blow. We just have to turn them back on, right? Here it is. Every time we turn the fuses back on, boom. As soon as I try to charge my computer or something on these two specific sockets that are in front of my desk, boom, fuses blow.
That
Immediately.
fucking
Like,
sucks, dude.
Not even like, oh,
It's probably trying to draw too much power, so it's probably
That
not
ain't
wired
good.
correctly for it.
I don't think it's my PC because I haven't had this problem with my PC before. I think it is exactly the fan.
How old are your plugs?
Probably since we bought this, so like we've been here 12 years, so probably 11 to 10 years.
I,
Even that old, really?
yeah.
No. So it's probably even older because we bought this house and my room was not renovated.
I'm sorry,
Like,
you
none
built
of
this
this-
house.
No, we have.
They built
we-
this house.
They paid to
Because
have it
that
built.
was like, if this house was built 11 years ago, the cassettes on the artisanal wood paneling should not look like this.
You've
True.
seen
It's true.
my ceiling, Burger. You've seen how it.
I don't know, Burger. It looks like every other fucking apartment I've ever lived in.
I'm sorry, but it just looks. I can't bear it.
Did they paint over everything in your apartment?
Hey, wait. I don't think
They
Nemo
painted
is-
over everything. Yes, they did paint over everything in my apartment, including the black mold.
Nemo.
Yeah.
Look
Huh?
at my ceiling.
That's a pretty
Hey.
ceiling, actually.
Yeah.
Burger.
Also,
I've
look at
where are we looking?
Wait,
Oh,
can you see from here? Yes, on the
that's
sides.
that's
I don't-
cool.
This looks like a hotel conference room ceiling.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
No, I mean it's
But you
pretty.
can
Like
see-
it's intricate.
You can see on the
Oh, it's
I
side.
think it looks
Conference is
pretty. I
great.
just think it looks out of place in a house.
So, it doesn't. It's very pretty.
It
The
is
one
very
thing I
pretty.
will say is that the guy who used to own this house, he was
So you
kind of
built
like
it and someone
an
else lived in it?
No,
Well,
no,
they
we
didn't
build
build it.
this. We bought it.
Someone
Oh.
else built it. Someone else built it, had it for a couple of years, and probably moved.
Yeah, I just misunderstood because it sounds very similar when he says both of those words.
I see.
Bought, built. Yes, very similar.
Yes.
Very similar.
Kind of.
Basically the same.
Especially
Yeah,
if
they-
you're talking quickly. You do talk pretty fast.
Hey, it's his like third language. Give him a break.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, but also he wasn't an artist, but I think he was like an author of some kind,
Nice.
and he was very artistic. Like he liked art and shit, so he liked to have art.
What are you saying?
But to like come back to the whole plug situation.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's it.
weren't
It's like
finished
it's
talking
really
about it.
annoying.
Okay.
No,
well,
I-
it's fucked up that. So why? So you just put in a new fuse?
No, it's not that because we're pretty sure one of the plugs is broken.
If the plug is broken, you could probably just replace the wiring on it. Like just
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm
Uns-
not
just
that
unscrew
guy.
it.
I've got no
Oh.
electrical
He's
skills
like,
whatsoever.
I don't know how to do
will-
that.
it's not that hard to do it, but if you are in doubt, I would hire someone to do it
We will
instead of
talk
doing
you
it
through
yourself.
no.
man. I mean, it's only
We'll
like a
talk you through it.
£150 million property that could
Right.
potentially burn down.
Mm,
Haven't you
yeah,
played
no,
Talking and
we're
Nobody
not-
Dies?
Yeah, yeah.
We're not. We're not.
Cut
we're
the
not
blue
gambling.
I remember one time I was doing electrical work in my house when I was living with my parents,
Mm.
and yeah, she knows the story. And it was like replacing a ceiling fan, and you have to attach essentially like the wire to like the slot in the fan.
Mm.
And I asked my father, "He's like, hey, the power's off, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I said, "You sure?" And he's like, "Yeah." "You positive?" He's like, "Absolutely." So I go in, I grab the wire, I fucking fall off a ladder.
Rip.
Turns out what he meant by the power is off was he turned off the switch in like in the room, not the fuse.
Aren't dads
No.
supposed to be knowledgeable about that
He has a
stuff?
master's degree. I don't know.
That means
computer
nothing.
Well,
He has a master's degree in computer
in what?
science. You should understand how electricity functions.
No, they don't
No.
actually teach you that.
No.
I know they don't, but you should just pick it up along the
Yeah,
way.
You should.
Yeah.
I've picked
Oh
it up
my
and
God.
I didn't even go to school for that.
That's exactly. I mean,
The one thing I
I
You
really
picked
live
it
in
up
a
that-
house
I-
to pick it up.
I picked it up that day pretty hard. So
My mom is calling the electrician, so he should come by tomorrow. I think like she's calling him tomorrow morning, which is kind of annoying.
All right,
But,
but
oh well. That just means I have got
Just-
no
just
way
to
to
confirm.
charge anything.
Well,
And I have to
there's
be
but
really-
there's plugs in other places in your house.
There is, but the internet connection is just absolute trash. And
You
the
could
fact
always go
is,
to your
I tend to
sister's
get
room.
loud.
if you get one of
No.
those, if
No,
you're
my
having that
dad
much
has
of a
been there.
if you're having that much
My
of a
dad
problem,
has been in there, and he has COVID at the moment, so I am not
Oh,
touching
shit.
anything.
That's
I
fucked
could
up.
go to my brother's room. The problem is it is quite small. It gets very hot. Like, even in winter, it gets absolutely fucking...
man, everyone getting COVID.
How about
Cabin
your
fever.
sister's room, Posh?
I just told you, my dad has been in my sister's room because he has COVID.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Well, where's your sister
Yeah.
staying then?
my sister's staying at the neighbor's house while he's away. Because he just came back from Greece.
He got Greek
Right.
COVID. That's probably
Jeez.
like worse than regular
Jeez.
COVID.
Yeah,
She's literally the girl next door now.
yeah.
Actually-
yeah, that's
I
fucked
do
up
wanna-
though, dude. I mean, you know.
I do want to say, since she's come back from Greece, she has been sort of nice to me.
Damn.
good.
And I
It's
mean,
all been wild.
like she's treating me
Hi, corn.
She's trying
like
to get
a
that dick,
brother.
dude.
No, fuck off. No, she's literally treating me like a brother instead of a fucking I don't know, like an enemy of the state, basically.
Big.
Like she's
Isn't it-
always treated me.
Basically, what
of-
life will experience.
I mean, I
when you
treat
do a
enemies of the
break-in.
state pretty well usually, so.
I mean,
She
I
doesn't.
am an enemy of the state, so.
But no,
So
she is a spiteful cunt.
To talk about
can be very
the big thing today.
What is the big thing today? Oh
I
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
broke 30,000 subscribers today on the main
Hey!
Nice.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
But that was just pretty cool. I went to the craft beer store and I got some booze. And so what I'm
We did
drinking
it.
right now is Sudden Death's Blueberry Wheat.
That
Take a
sounds
picture and
amazing.
post.
Yeah,
Take a
it's-
picture and post it in the studio so we
mate,
can see what it looks like.
I
Because there's a
just
stream
held it
delay.
into the camera for 1 second.
Yeah, he's on stream, my dude.
Let me actually. It's a fruited wheat ale. Let me find a picture of this.
Can I ask you something? You ever thought about doing these streams on your main channel so they could get more traction? Because I feel like
Absolutely not. I used to do that, and
Yeah.
it was terrible for audience retention.
really.
Like, genuinely
it tends to-
horrible. It was.
It tends to
I
like clog up
yeah.
engagement.
Yeah, I did that for a while, and it literally is the thing that led to several years of my channel not being preferred by the algorithm. Like, that's.
I mean, like,
Us too, because
mean-
we put on a couple of live streams on our main channel, and then it just like stopped, and then we didn't really get motivated to keep doing it.
Yeah.
So
It's
So do
really every time I do any kind of live stream on the main channel, the analytics just tank.
why is that?
yeah.
Because apparently the algorithm just cares about the percentage watched of a video, and also so there's a difference
people are-
between me an hour and a half talking at a camera with a script and me just sort of shooting the shit on a live stream. So-
Yeah, because most people aren't going to be interested in the content that
Yeah.
is a live stream. But
I'm not a live streaming channel.
yeah,
Yeah.
And so
These
people,
things
there's
just
going to be a
purely for
lot of
Patreon.
potential watch time, but very little actual watch time. And that disparity is really going to fuck up the numbers. And the algorithm is going to be like, oh, nobody watches this guy.
Have you tried at least plugging Kriegerberg into like
I don't
into your
want to
main
plug
videos?
Kriegerberg. This place is literally just for the patrons. I don't
Alright, that
care
makes
if
sense.
anyone sees this.
But then you also get like 100 views on these, don't you normally?
I don't think it's
Yeah,
that
but that's-
much, but yeah.
I think it's mainly just from other people on the server like watching it. I don't think many people who are outside of that environment tend to watch these streams.
Somebody's been watching all of my streams and like flagging the ones that they don't.
Oh, I guess if they're butthurt, sure.
Yeah, because
To be
I've
fair,
been
I distinctly
getting.
remember you saying on one of your live streams you didn't care if this channel got flagged.
I really don't, but it's very funny because there's been like a bunch of streams from years ago that have been getting flagged. Like one or two of them, YouTube's like, yeah, we hid this because of hate speech, and then I
Yeah.
appealed it, and they were like, yeah, sorry, that was.
They're probably right, honestly. Knowing how the older streams used to go, they were probably right.
Well, they still would be. But one of them now actually did get hit for hate speech, but they never say, like, what about it is hate speech.
No, yeah,
They're like,
it's
yeah,
just-
this is a 90-minute stream, and it's bad. Don't
Yeah.
do that again. What,
I think
do
this
what again?
Don't do it
Don't do
again.
what? Because they're just
I-
like, yeah, it is hate speech, and you're like, yeah, but which part?
Yeah,
What?
with copyright, it's usually a bit more precise because they will like flag a specific section of it as copyrighted material.
It's also-
that's happened to us before.
Never on any of these streams has any hate speech happened ever. I will
Not actual hate speech.
proudly make the statement, but definitely hate speech that
But I
everyone
think-
would recognize.
I think people have probably said like slurs or something like that
Oh,
on the stream. And I think
definitely.
that falls under like
Oh,
YouTube's
yes.
rules.
Yeah, I feel like we've all
for sure.
ironically called something gay. We've called something gay ironically a good few times. I should probably stop
I've
doing
said
that
the
just
N-word
because.
many times on this stream.
Yeah, that's probably what's triggering it. Although it could just be the title, honestly, because the title
Yeah,
of
the
that
titles
stream
that
that got
got
flagged
flagged.
was Adam and Steve or something like that.
Yeah, Steve
LMAO.
from Adam and Steve, which
Yeah,
isn't like
yeah.
that's just that's like a fucking like we're interviewing
It's-
Steve from Adam and Steve.
It's a little
like
too specific. It's a little too specific to get picked up by a bot. But maybe if it got manually reviewed, they saw the title and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's that homophobic slogan," and they just
some,
denied.
like, some fucking intern.
Yeah, which I mean, if you're an intern working at YouTube, are you gonna watch a 90-minute fucking video of people just
definitely not.
shitpost? Yeah.
Absolutely, I would not. I wouldn't watch this if I got paid to do it. And I already.
Let's see.
get
What's
paid
this?
to do
What's
it
this
for
guy's
me.
What's this guy's other channel's most famous video? What's with all the communism? Okay, I think we're safe to say.
Yeah. Actually, the most popular video on the Kriegerberg is still the. I like a while ago. I had a day off, and I was like, I need to do a Slavoj Žižek lo-fi compilation.
Oh, actually, was,
Yeah,
I mean that actually.
I have actually gone back to watch that before because it's fun.
Wait, Slavoj Žižek lo-fi? What?
Yeah,
It's just like
go
it's just a Zizek like rambling for like an hour over some lo-fi beats.
That's amazing. That is.
It actually has like
Yes.
almost 20,000 views. It like accounts for a
Do you have
significant
AdSense on
percentage
that
of views
at
on
all?
this channel.
Do you have
Jesus.
AdSense on that at all?
How good is
No.
it doing, Burger?
No, I did it
Damn.
like for fun.
Like- How good is it doing? Like,
It has almost 20,000 views.
oh damn!
I've definitely watched it a couple of times and sent it to people. 'cause
It's pretty
funny.
good. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
it.
Good meme. Good meme.
Damn. I mean, to be fair, holy shit, that is pretty good news.
It's really
But-
funny. I'm very happy that that's the thing that really blew off. There's people
Yeah,
who
you're
like
gonna-
there's
you're gonna
for a
become-
while there were people who like didn't understand that this is like my second channel, and they were like, "What the fuck are you doing with like? Why are you getting this much Patreon money?"
You should have just responded money laundering.
I am a
It's a
criminal.
crime.
I literally am.
I am.
So
yeah.
That's the secret
Uh,
ingredient.
Yeah,
Crime.
yeah. Speaking of the N word.
Oh,
Oh no!
what
Oh,
a great
no.
way to start a sentence.
Yeah, I was gonna say like yes, very, very mwah, mwah,
They do
Burger.
need to focus.
Mwah.
Yeah, they do. The focus is something that they must do.
But, apparently, after the last stream, I wrote down a little fucking like notepad with like stories from work.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Did those people
Wait,
come back?
Wait, can you talk about the thing you said you can't talk about, or the?
No,
I assume he
no,
can't
no, no, no.
because he said that he can't.
Yeah, no, that sounds kind of sus. Come on.
Well,
And-
wait.
And
Ethereum.
I did tell it
No.
last time before the stream started.
Yeah.
Well, Ethereum. Well, one, I want to updates to it, and two, do they know where you work? Like, have you said where you work? Like, what computer store you work at? Because he can.
It's
If you
the
don't,
the Danish computer shop in Denmark.
The
Yeah,
Danish
no.
computer
Yeah,
But
shop.
we
like
have
there
one.
there is only really one
Yeah.
chain, and like even if you just like a cursory sort of like look up, will find like out pretty much which store chain I work at.
Yeah, no, that's
It's called.
that's,
Yeah, it's
everyone.
it's the
who
one that
works
sells.
here
It's
is
the one that
gay.
sells Danishes, right?
It's the gay sex IT, where they
Yeah.
don't do
Gay
IT.
sex.
That's where I
but
work.
they
Holy
will
fuck.
have
Well, that's
gay
just
sex.
IT
The
work in
best
general.
IT.
Yeah.
But corn, communist.
Cool.
Is that core?
What?
Or is
One
that
of
a
the
different?
people who
Yeah,
has
that's
been
core.
here like
That's
the
core.
longest.
Core. Why have you changed your name?
Because it's
because
cool.
why not?
Bro, why do I change my
Yeah.
name?
No, like,
Yeah,
you know-
why does he go by corn and not core anymore?
He does go by
who's been
core.
here the longest?
Well, I've been
What?
here the
You.
longest, but that doesn't
That
really
is true.
count.
I mean, yeah,
I'm-
yeah.
I actually,
I'm
the
the
second
second
person
longest.
who joined this server later became a hardcore Nazi.
Dang.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Which,
And in the
which
third-
way, Burger
I-
And
Craig?
the third person that joined the server was kind of a right-wing guy, and then later it turns out actually was a hard-left trans woman.
I see the femboy the Nazi to femboy pipeline is functioning
Nazi.
correctly.
Yeah, like so. This is a long established tradition.
We're
There's
playing the
someone-
long
wait.
game.
Yeah.
Was this a? Wait, was this? I may have played Total War with not Total War. Dawn of War with this person, but I forget their name.
Oh well, no. So no, this is a thing, right? That kind of person has been on the server a lot, and we welcome
okay.
them.
I'm gonna give y'all a choice.
Mm-hmm.
So there one of 3 titles you can pick between, right? For stories
Okay.
tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Old Dude and the Dung-Covered Walls.
Okay.
Margaret, Where Are My Trousers?
Mm,
Or How a Single soundbar got 6 managers replaced.
I like the last one.
What?
Yeah, the last one. The last one.
soundbar.
Do the last one.
Personally, I'm a fan of the trouser one.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm outvoted.
I'm big.
That's
What
why
the
democracy
fuck-
doesn't work.
6
What the
managers
fuck
for a
is-
single soundbar? Like, come on.
Right, so...
You have
A
to do it.
sound
Managers
bar?
are the
What the
bait.
fuck? Explain to me sound bar. What the hell?
He's
As
about-
like the
it-
speaker?
It's
No.
a speaker system, basically just
It's-
a single bar.
It looks like a
Yeah,
bar.
they instead of selling
Yeah, I know
those,
what it
they
is.
sell sounds.
Yeah, I know what a
You
sound
get
bar is.
synth
How the fuck
beats
did you?
and loops.
How the
You-
fuck
you-
is a? Hey!
Anywho.
How the
You go
hell?
up to the bar and order 1 Zizek lo-fi beats to go.
They mix it.
I-
Unless you
don't know.
drink it like
Wait.
when you're like talking in those cans.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll go with the story of the trousers then.
Sure, yeah, Margaret, where are you?
Fine.
What the fuck?
Democracy functions correctly,
Yes.
in that I
My
win
dude.
over the majority.
My dude, this
I
is,
agree with
this.
this.
is not a democracy. But right, so this was about a year or so, no, year and a half back. We just opened up after COVID lockdowns affected my store, of which I was not one of the workers who was allowed to stay at home. Fuck you, boss. Who's also been replaced now.
Yeah.
Good for him.
But we just opened up, so naturally, literally all the old people who needed help with all their tech could get into the store again. And
Fair enough.
we were like 3 people who had to service around like 60 customers that came in.
Hell yeah.
I've been there.
That was
Damn.
that was an abject nightmare. Now,
Yeah.
I think within the first hour of the opening the store, we had 400 customers come in. It was lunacy.
Bro.
Hey, they
Yeah.
just been like accumulating tech problems and like not
not just-
solving them.
Not just tech problems, but also yes, I need to buy my new iPad, but I want someone in person to sell me it.
Oh my
rather than just
god!
ordering it
dude.
Yeah,
online.
I hate that so much.
Yeah, that day, nobody was friends.
I'm
with
like,
the
just buy it
customers.
on Amazon. It does not fucking matter.
So, in comes this old couple.
Yes.
Right?
It's
Now,
the same old couple that...
No, this is not. This is
door
not the same-
couple?
No, this is not the door couple. This is another couple. In comes this old couple, and there's a man who's the man is sitting in a mobility scooter, and the woman has one of those what they called little. It's like four.
I
what
know
are they
the
called?
German
The
word
walkie
for it is
sticks.
rollator, but
Yeah, it's roulator or roulemarie.
let me post a picture of it. And
Rolling
people
Mary.
will know what that means.
Oh, a walker?
Yeah, a walker.
How?
That's the one.
Why the fuck do you call this a walker?
Because it helps you walk.
But it literally has 4 wheels.
Burger, we're
No,
American.
it's-
Expect
I mean,
idiocy from
In
us.
America, most of them have tennis balls on the bottom.
Yeah, they don't usually have wheels.
They don't
usually
actually have
What? I'm
wheels.
But the
sorry,
point
what
is
do
that
you
they're a
mean
walking
they
assistant.
usually have tennis balls on the bottom?
Burger.
Like they usually have like a rubber stopper or tennis
rubber-
balls or
yeah.
something.
Rubber bottom.
Like they don't. They
Mhm.
they usually pick them up and move them like a cane, like a
The US
quadrupedal
deserves a
cane.
nuclear holocaust, Jesus Christ.
I believe. Please wait until I
Anywho.
move, please.
What about the Holocaust?
Oh,
No,
nothing.
no.
Deserves a nuclear
America.
Okay,
holocaust.
okay, so this is
I
woman comes
kind
in
of-
with this thing. Yeah.
Yeah, woman is on that one, the man is on a mobility scooter, right?
Yeah.
And
Correct.
they come up to the desk where we're sort of handling customers, and these two are really, really impatient. They've been paying taxes for 60 years. They believe they can do whatever they want.
I mean,
because that is typical. So the man
LMAO.
slaps a laptop on the table and goes, "I need help."
Okay.
Okay, then.
Well, now that. Well, I'm guessing
Wait,
that in
wait,
Dutch.
did he literally do the jowl movement? Did his jowls literally go
more
The
more or
wobbling
less,
jowls.
yes.
Do you not
So
know
I
jowl?
grab a number from our numbermatic and like put it on the table. Be like, just wait here. Once your number gets called, we'll help you. The wife comes over and she goes, "Why are you not getting help?" And
That's a good
he
old
just
lady
goes,
voice.
and like at that point, I sort of tune out and like get to helping another customer with their iPad because they managed to lock it up for some reason, like somehow. 5 minutes later, I hear, "I'm gonna go take a shit," and
Okay.
he rolls. he rolls on out of there, and like we have a sneaking suspicion that like he'd already taken a shit. That was just like formality at that point, like him going to the toilet.
That does sound like it.
And she sits into her little stroller, like on the little weird like square pad thing. Like she sits down on that and falls asleep in it. And apparently she's one of those people who fart a lot when they fall asleep. Because like
I
it
didn't
was
know
like
that
an
was the type of person, but
yeah, like this was like an orchestra of trumpet sounds.
oh my god.
Like
Jesus, I feel sorry for you, man.
the smell was pretty bad too. But I was like, at least I was like in the opposite side of the section, so it barely affected me. My coworker was fucking gagging.
He's fighting for his life.
I know. and the guy rolls back in from the toilet, right? Like 10 minutes later. He's not wearing his pants.
God.
What? He's without pants?
Yeah,
Oh my
he's
god.
He's not wearing his fucking pants, right? Rolls in, fucking sees his wife sleeping, grabs something from like his little baggie on the front of his mobility scooter and throws it at her head. And he just like at the top of his lungs he goes, "Margaret, where are my trousers?"
Did he forget his pants in the bathroom?
Like, at that point,
Relationship goals right there.
Yeah.
apparently he'd thrown a dirty sock at her head.
Oh my god.
What the fuck?
But wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more.
I was fucking dying.
You're the best addition the server has ever had. Welcome to the Burger Creek community.
Crying.
I was fucking dying over in the corner, and so was the customer I was sitting with. Like,
Where were his
we were
pants? Like legitimately, where were his pants?
They have to be in the
bathroom.
bathroom.
no,
Yeah.
he hadn't put them on, so they had gotten stuck in our electric door, which could no longer open.
These pants
my
got
God.
stuck in the door?
Yes, they got stuck in the electric door.
Wait. So he was walking to the bathroom. They
No,
got
he
stuck in
wasn't-
the
No, no.
automatic.
He was driving to the bathroom.
Yeah,
in his
he was
mobility
driving.
scooter.
Oh, and then they got stuck in the door. So he
Incredible,
just
dude.
took them all. Yes.
Beautiful.
Fuck
Beautiful.
yeah.
And,
This
and,
is
Ears.
this man is
and-
peak male performance.
and that is
Yeah.
the story of how I got my first write-up.
Jeez, what did
Because
you
What?
do?
I lost all sense of professionalism and just fucking I was crying and laughing at the same time.
I would. Fuck yeah.
I honestly, I don't think you should get written up for that. That's
Yeah.
like just be. I mean, capitalism
holding?
doesn't allow you to be a human being.
Holy
on the
shit,
job,
Laser.
but, like,
Oh, that's true.
Ugh.
oh god.
I mean, yeah.
I'm
Laughing
playing
is
Super Hot.
unprofessional.
Real quick.
Having a good time, unprofessional.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah! Real quick, I'm playing Super Hot and I got a laser. I'm having a great time.
Super.
Oh fuck!
Nah.
Super,
Super hot cringe, yo. You cringe.
Oh, now I'm playing Super Hot Mind Control Delete,
And
the sequel.
I will reiterate for everyone who might watch this like later on as like when the stream ends. If you're thinking about getting a job in retail, go ahead and
Don't.
do it. Expect shit pay, but like what you're not getting paid, you will make up for in stories.
The
Trust me.
anecdotes are top
People-
tier.
I
People
do
are
love
wild.
customer interaction. Like when I get side gigs and stuff, it tends to be shit where I talk about to customers and stuff. Because it's just you meet so many interesting and like I was selling strawberries at some point, and like some woman comes up to me and like, oh, can you change the money for me? Can you give me like smaller give me change on this, right? And she hands me this like literally an actual literal Monopoly €5 bill. Like this, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And she said, well, my daughter is sick. Like, what the fuck? I don't care. Give me. I will give you change if you give me actual money. And then she got really angry with me.
Wait, when you say Monopoly bill, as in the actual
It wasn't an on-brand Monopoly one, but like just like some fucking game bill.
Fake money.
It was fake board game
like
currency.
It wasn't even. I cannot call it fake money because it did not look remotely like a €5 bill. It might not even have said euro on it. It was like it was red.
It said
had like
gyro.
a window on
Wait.
it.
Wait, it's spelled Euro, but with GYRRO,
Some
like the
shit
fucking
like that. It
rap.
was just 100% bullshit game money.
I'll be real though. I'd receive payment in euros as like the fucking beef wraps. Those are banger. Like just saying.
Oh,
Yeah, but
you.
that-
I mean, I
that-
can't pay my
fucking-
bills with gyros, so.
And a
No,
lot of there was apparently a problem with like people who were giving us salespeople fake bills, wanting
That's
them
crazy.
changed.
I mean, fair.
But I mean, that's
Yeah,
like
that-
you cannot call that a fake bill. It just did not even
Right
look like money.
I have to go to work in 2 hours. I'm gonna go sleep.
Okay, bye,
Aw,
Cora, good night.
Have a
Man,
good sleep.
Have a good sleep, my dude.
Yeah,
Hey, I
have a
keep
good
forgetting
sleep,
you can
Cora.
straight up like change your base Discord username, not just like the nickname on a server. I forget that sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
So-
you know
Oh,
what?
man.
I'm gonna get another beer.
You do that.
Yeah.
You deserve it.
You deserve
you're
it.
living life. You're being successful. You fucking go. You fucking blow up, bro. Fucking blow up. I don't know where I'm going with this bit. Go get another beer.
Turn up. For
All I
one.
know is that
Okay.
it was not. good.
I do have another story to tell now.
Can you
'cause
please-
Burger-
You have
Oh,
3, right?
Oh dear lord, yes.
Oh, like I'm not going to tell all of them. Like I'm going to keep some in reserve.
Aw.
Uh,
Yeah.
Is this,
But-
is this,
but-
is this the sound? Is this
but
the sound
this
part
one-
getting 7 managers fired, or is this different?
no. This is an entirely different one. Right. So Burger's little story reminded me of another one.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to tell this one before I forget it. It's a short one. So, Christmas last year, we had a woman come in because, of course, it's the old woman.
Women, am I right?
She comes in.
You're
with
not
her-
right.
she comes in with her tablet, right? And she doesn't understand why she's getting so much mail. And I have a quick browse, and she's getting like a lot of spam mail. Like, and I do mean, like, she had like out of 500 emails, right? Maybe 5 of them were legit.
Jesus Christ.
It was an
Okay, wow.
unholy amount of spam. And she had one of those like private emails that's like set up with like a phone company. Where you can choose your own like domain name and stuff, but it's redirected to their postal server, and then it arrives at you.
Yeah.
Those are fancy though. I want one of those.
Yeah. But I asked her like, oh, like so, like where do you have your email, like your mailbox at? It's like, oh, I have it at so and so company. I'm like, okay, but like you're getting an inordinate amount of mails. Like, yeah, I don't think the sperm filter is working. And I was like, I was grabbing a charger, and as she said that, right, I didn't expect it, so I tripped and fucking fell, nearly knocking out my teeth.
That's great. I love that sperm filter.
Dude.
And I was like, "Do you realize what you just said, lady?" It's like, yeah, the sperm filter, right?
I mean, there are little things you don't want that come in and come out in ungodly amounts.
You don't want them to come in, right? Yeah. That's
yeah,
So
that's what the filter's for.
quick German lesson, right? Does anyone know what the word vice means?
White.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a beer here called Urweisse. So Ur is like the prefix Ur refers to something that is like original, primordial. The
Oh no.
Urweisse.
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
know how
no.
many of you are watching the stream, but does this look
I am.
white to you? Does this beer look white to you?
It
I
takes
don't-
a second.
It
lag.
ain't. Is the
Yeah.
Oh
like-
no, I would say like it
it's
looks
very
brown.
dark.
That-
It's very dark.
Yeah.
Yes, very brown.
But
One
I mean,
sec,
it does have a
that's-
Bavarian flag on it, so
LMAO.
So
I
they're
do have a
black.
it
story.
does taste very good, though.
Well, no, I don't have a story. I do have a question though.
Yeah.
Kind of serious one. So
I-
this comes off the back that the UK God damn it, which museum was it again? One of the
The
UK
Gay
museums.
Sex Museum.
Yes, exactly.
You know your
I wanna
sex
go there.
Museum, the museum.
You
gotta take
no,
me
but one
when I
of-
visit.
Yeah, I think it's actually the British Museum. You know, the big British Museum.
Yeah,
right?
so the Gay Sex Museum.
Yeah.
The British
Yeah,
Museum.
basically. Yeah, but they're renovating an old historical, I think it was Greek monument of one of the Greek goddesses. I can't remember her name.
Yeah.
But they're renovating it.
Yeah.
So my question is, one, is it I want to say ethical, but I think that's the bad word to use in this context. But is it ethical to renovate a historical artifact?
What do you
that
mean
stole?
renovate?
Yeah,
You
like,
Like they are
restore?
renovating it. Yeah, restoring. Sorry.
restore.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
restoring.
I
so-
would say
yeah.
Wait,
preserve it.
I'm not finished. I'm not finished the question. That you stole from another country, mind you.
I
Because I'm
mean,
pretty
they
sure
stole
this
everything.
artifact- Yeah, no, the British stole everything. Let's be real here.
There's
But-
no like Gaelic artifacts in the British Museum. Like, there's no
That's interesting.
Anglo-Saxon shit.
You know exactly. No, there are historical artifacts, but they're always at the location they're found in, or at least the closest to the location they were found in. Right? But there's none in the British Museum because you know exactly why.
Yeah, that's what
Come
I mean. Yeah. Well, I mean, so first of all, ancient Greece.
Yeah.
You
We
know,
plundered that shit, like, over multiple years. Like, since Greece became an independent
go
country.
ahead and say, I mean, yeah, they did steal it from like somewhat modern Greece, so that is a good point. No, but it's important to restore artifacts.
Yes,
preserve it.
Yeah.
I do agree with that.
Like, at least that way, it's not the Greeks paying for it, you know?
Yeah, I was about to say, like, are you saying it just because the British are paying for it? Because, like, yes.
No, because
let them pay for
technically
it.
speaking, yes, it is wasting money for the British, but at the same time,
I don't know
you
if it's
still-
wasteful.
Wasting money.
Well, I mean, I don't want to say it's wasteful, but I mean it's the British wasting money. So technically speaking, it's a win.
So
Yeah,
here's
It's
my
the-
take on this, right?
It's the British spending money, basically.
I am I'm a firm believer in like the human cultural heritage. I think that especially the further back you go in history with artifacts, you can't like ascribe it to a modern culture and like give them the sole responsibility over it. But I think this is more valid with like immaterial goods like cultural concepts than it is with, you know, like actual things. But I also think that the people who make these kinds of decisions are archaeologists. And like you can talk shit about the archaeologists of the British Empire as much as you want.
Oh,
They
you-
definitely
there are
you know,
so
they were
many
just stealing
stories
shit. They
where
were
I
like
just go,
grinding up
I-
mummies into powder to make them into dick pills.
Yeah,
basically.
which is why we don't have a lot of mummies. Oh,
Yeah.
and
They
there's
snort
this
them.
one where I just want to go back and when we invent a time machine, because we probably will. I
We
will go
never
there.
will.
I
That's
will go
never
to
going to
every
happen.
single. I will go to every single one where a British archaeologist went to, like back in the 1800s to the late, I think it was 1970s.
You
right?
should.
Where And
You just
I'm
put
going
goatee
to
pictures
murder
in the
their
circle.
asses. I am
No,
going.
no.
No, I'm
You
going
put
to
you put
murder
goatee
their
pictures. You go back further and you put goatee pictures in the sarcophagus.
asses. No. No.
I mean, if you did that, it'd just be like, and we see here that the ancient Egyptian was a savage creature because they would have pictures of stretched assholes adorned amongst their burial chambers. Just do that
But-
shit.
Look, the thing is, I'm going to go find them with this time machine, and I'm going to fucking torture them. Because, honestly, the amount
Dude, Posh is gonna become the
historical-
mummy's curse.
This is
Yes,
I mean, what the
basically.
fuck, dude?
He's
But
gonna go
what you
back
have-
in time and torture Brendan Fraser to death.
But what you have
Yes.
to understand is that
I will
No,
defend that man with my life.
I have still not seen The Mummy. I hear it's a big bisexual awakening for everyone.
It is a bisexual awakening.
I
But the
still
thing
don't
is
know
that the
about that.
people who are doing archaeology today, who are like making those kinds of decisions to like restore and
They are
take care of and interpret
Yeah, no,
these
they're
statues,
far different.
they're completely different people, and they tend to
No,
be the
that-
ones
that
who
I
like
completely-
work to do the kind of.
Yeah.
See. Okay, this is something I really like actually. I like the idea of like, especially shit that was like stolen through colonialism, to like bring it back to the countries where it's from. However, I also am a big fan of like having collections of the human cultural heritage in one place, or like not in one place, but in like several places, where you can get an overview. And also, a lot of these countries don't really have the resources, or rather, they shouldn't be spending money on preserving those kinds of archaeological finds when they should instead be
Yes,
spending money on
fair.
feeding the population. But
I mean, that's
fair.
a multifaceted problem.
it always is.
the
But what
conditions
I
of
mean,
these
what I'm building up to is that, especially in Germany, they've been starting to do something where basically the ownership of the historical artifacts goes back to the countries that they originate in, but they are kept in, like, some of them are sent back, especially ones that still have like current cultural significance to various groups there. But others, they are leased by the German government, essentially. So they're sending money over there, and they're keeping them in
that's
German
neat.
museums. And that is
Okay,
actually,
it's
that is a
something.
solution that I rather like.
That is a good solution. That I do like. I would like if we did that, because we've stolen a shit ton of things from, like,
It's kind of
Greeks
like, it's a little bit
and-
like reparations, let's be honest.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say that, but I was like,
but it's
Yeah,
like the
that
Greeks
is a
have
good
been
idea.
asking their artifacts back forever now, and the British have just had this sense of superiority, like, oh no, you can
but-
possibly
and-
protect
I mean,
these
that's
artifacts
just
and whatnot.
British.
It's like,
the ancient Greeks so the Greeks, they still have enough Greek shit. I don't know, like, they're Greek enough.
they do,
They
but
have
at the same time, we stole
mean, they
a
still
lot
have all
of
the architecture,
really
yeah?
important shit. They still have the architecture, but we stole a lot of important shit. Like, we stole some of the murals of the Parthenon.
that's hard. Like
That
that.
is
That
pretty
took some
fucked up.
effort.
Yeah, that
That
is.
is
That takes
effort.
some effort, but at the same time, like, I'm like, hell no.
Plus, wouldn't that be a lot better to have that restored, like the landmark restored with the murals?
Sure,
That would be way cooler to have
sick,
the whole
though.
thing.
Though, once
would.
again, I feel like the Greek government should be spending money on different things.
True.
than that.
Sure,
Like,
but
the
if
fact-
nothing else, then the British government should be giving them like an endowment
Oh,
for
yes.
like holding these artifacts, like a rent payment for fucking
Oh, yes,
artifacts.
Definitely.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that's
They're,
the thing.
so far, they're just saying, "Nah, finders keepers, get fucked, losers."
Yeah, like that is the
Found
one
this
thing I
in
fucking
your
hate
house.
with-
We found it.
Yeah, exactly.
I broke
This was
into your
just
house.
lying around your house.
and it was just chilling there.
It's like, what the fuck,
Oh my
dude?
god.
It wasn't
Yeah.
nailed down, so I took it.
You know, it's like, what you gonna do about it, bitch?
So you came by
That
because
is
you said you
literally-
had weed, dude. Like, what the fuck?
Right.
Wait, then you fucking steal
Exactly.
my Jordan Peterson 12 Rules for Life book?
That's that is very accurate because Britain was for the longest time the biggest drug dealer in the fucking world.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
yeah.
they fought so many wars.
Look me up with that
Holy
opium,
shit.
brother.
Yeah. Actually, I did go to the house, the apartment of a couple that I'm friends with recently, and they had like 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson, and then like 3 books away from it was the Communist Manifesto by Karl Marx.
That is funny and
Duality
makes
of
sense.
man.
And so what I did is I like
Yeah,
put
it's
them
because they're
next to each other.
postmodern neo-Marxists.
Yeah. That was I like put them together, and like the guy came in and was like, "Damn, I should have been the one who did that."
I have something similar where I have like a bunch of like books on political theory, but one of the books was a wedding gift I got from my friend Yeezy, and it is William W. Johnston's Trigger Warning.
Hell yeah, dude. I have The Consuming Instinct by Gart Sard. That was a gift from my ex.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that guy.
Back when I was actually unironically a Gart Sard fan. Like I still liked some of his older scientific work and like evolutionary psychology, but he has just gone so far to the right. It is incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty common to people. Evolutionary psychology itself as a field is kind of iffy in the first place, and a lot of people who go really hard into it tend to sort of fall into the sort of,
It is
right.
a legitimate scientific field, but it does attract.
Sure, but it tends to assume a lot of like socially constructed like things are based entirely in biological realities, which is not true. They're based in social like constructions.
That's what kind of the point is. Like that's what the point should be of that field, to like explore that connection. It's very easy. I think one of the problems with evolutionary psychology that especially leftists see is that a lot of evolutionary psychology is like the research and like the scientific papers of it is taken out of context by like hard right people who like, oh, this proves that the people with the different skin color are actually bad. It's like, no, that isn't what that says. But, it's the same shit they've been saying about like climate change research. They just don't know how to read papers.
Oh my god, that is the most annoying shit. We were supposed to be underwater. No, we weren't yet.
No,
stop it.
No, we
It's
weren't.
not true.
No one ever said this. But yeah,
one newspaper said this forever ago, and it was misquoted. Like, I don't.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like the guy they quoted was like,
I
never said this. I straight up, literally never said anything like this because it's insane.
The one thing I will say that the thing that brought this on was a wild conversation, which I posted a few screenshots in Serious Business. Cody, you might have, you did react to that.
I did. I didn't read the whole thing because the guy seemed like he was going on a little rant there, and I was just like, I get the gist.
I had my first discussion with an ANCAP.
Oh, he was an ANCAP?
Your first
Yeah, no, he's like a full... Oh, no, he's a special ANCAP. He's a full-on special ANCAP.
I could have sworn he was I could have sworn he was a dangist. Holy shit. I got that entirely backwards.
Let me tell you what he told me, like, quote for quote. Where is it?
What's a... Wait, real quick, what's a dangist?
It is people who follow the teachings of Deng Xiaoping, who was the chairman of the CCP after Mao Zedong was. He essentially the ideology essentially centers around the idea of building what's called productive forces.
Okay.
To basically let's go back to being capitalist for just a little while, and then we totally will promise you guys will have socialism eventually.
Okay, Julius.
Well, never having it.
Okay, guys, bros, I promise socialism by 2050.
I love your sassy wife.
Here's the quote. I am an anarcho-capitalist, but I am not an anarchist. Anarchy.
True! So true! Oh my god.
Wait. Anarchy devolves into dictatorship.
What? Not true.
What was the Kim Stanley Robinson quote? That anarcho-capitalists are just basically people who want the government to protect them from their slaves?
Literally, yes.
Yeah. And he goes on when I ask him, how can you consider yourself anarcho then? How can you keep the name anarcho while still claiming to be an anarcho-capitalist, but not actually associated with anarcho?
It sounds cool, that's why.
I can't support a system that doesn't work. I have to support a system that can work. Okay.
What?
I'm going to tell you right now, this guy's a fascist. There are so fucking many. Like, the number of people who identify as ANCAPs and the number of people who are fascists is almost a circle. Like, there are so many people who call themselves ANCAPs, and if you dig into their ideas, they end up just being, like, fascists. Like, they just hate black people, hate gay people, hate poor people.
He wanted... So, like, I asked him, like, okay, so what exactly... So, we came upon the issue of ownership. Like, he believes that no democracy has allowed full ownership, which, I mean, technically speaking, he's correct, but for the fact that you can't own everything is for very specific reasons.
Yeah, I mean,
like
this fucking
morality.
insane idea of full ownership. Like, what the fuck does that even mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, I can't own people, therefore I cannot have full ownership.
Yes, that's what he means. He wants slaves.
But yeah, but those are people and they have to own themselves. So, like, if they get it exactly what you get, then you don't get it either.
Well,
it doesn't matter.
The market will regulate the fucking...
I'm tired of that, too.
Yeah.
If they're slaves, we'll just stop buying those products. Even though that's not what happens currently under capitalism.
Well, but that's because of the government, Cody.
The government, yeah.
The government is forcing the slavery still.
Government is forcing Mars Company to hire those children.
So,
Joe Biden is like going to the board of Mars and being like, and they like understand that this means you have to keep slaves, dude.
But like, I asked him, so what exactly do you want to own then? I think I can guess, but I might be wrong. You know, like trying to imply like, I think you're gonna go in the realm of slavery and shit. And he completely pulled me out of left field by saying, then tell me, can I as a private citizen own a nuclear bomb? Merely for the purpose of argument, let us say that I have access to a place where I can buy one. I was like, what?
I don't need to buy one, you just make one.
Oh, real quick, guys, I'm sorry. Just speaking of weapons of mass destruction, guess what I found on a fucking a political compass memes? Apparently, the House Judiciary Committee has passed a bill, H.R. 1808, the Assault Weapons Ban Act of 2021, and it's a picture of a Twitter post. I think this is real, and I found it on political compass memes because I'm a basic bitch. But what the fuck? Here,
you have not uploaded the image yet.
Yeah,
I'll put here it is now. I should have just started with uploading it. Apparently,
sure. Assault Weapons Ban Act of 2021.
Try it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's probably gonna, if it does exist, it's probably just gonna be a continuation of previous assault weapon bans, and it's gonna be entirely useless in stopping any like gun violence ever.
Oh, we already have those, and they're not working.
No, see, I want them to tell me what is an assault weapon.
The definition of an assault weapon is usually it's usually pretty vague. There are actual working definitions of what assault weapons are. The problem is that the way that the previous assault weapon ban defined them was just entirely arbitrary. Like, it was, if it has a pistol grip and also like has a foregrip, and also maybe if it has an extendable stock, like just really shit that does not matter when it comes to the effectiveness of a firearm, other than like ease and comfort of ergonomics.
I do love that
what you're telling me is that a Tech 9 is technically an assault weapon.
Yes, it was. I believe that Tech 9s were included in it.
I do love that the official Twitter account of the House Judiciary, just Democrats apparently, and like the image that they use for the announcement, it looks like a video game achievement. Like some like shooter.
I don't.
It does look like a
very
solid,
dude.
I don't think this is real.
But like the thing is, if they were to actually do effective gun legislation that did something about mass shootings, they would have to stop campaigning about it.
Yeah, they would.
That is true. They don't want to do that. The only thing that happens is we wait for the next mass shooting to happen, and we ban some like tangential thing that related to that mass shooting. And then
every single
if we do anything at all,
Biden is
it's either like
somebody
high-capacity
has to
magazines or bump stock. Not even just Biden. Trump banned bump stock. Remember, because of the Vegas shooting.
Damn.
And bump stocks, like, that's such a useless thing to ban because you can bump fire without a bump stock. It just makes it easier to do it.
I
you literally just
have no idea about.
Yeah, I'll say I don't
essentially
know. Essentially,
a bump stock. Essentially, what it does is it's a type of stock you can place on a rifle, and it has like a little bit of a give to it. And what essentially it does is whenever you bump fire, which is you have a semi-automatic weapon, and you just kind of hold your finger past halfway through the trigger.
Mm-hmm.
The recoil will then reset it and rack it so it can act as if it's an automatic weapon.
That's
you don't need a bump stock to do that.
You know
like
that thing where the Eruv, where like the Jewish people basically have a line that goes around a neighborhood so they can define it as an interior space and do shit on Shabbat. That is what bump stocks sound like. That's literally.
You can bump fire without a bump stock. It's just a technique to fire the weapon. The bump stock just makes it easier to do it. But it doesn't exactly matter because if you don't have a bump stock, like most of the time when you're doing a mass shooting, especially in the case of the Vegas shooting, you are firing into a crowd of people. Accuracy is not all that important.
You know when you're doing a mass shooting, you know?
Yeah.
That's just a common thing we've all
I'm sorry,
experienced.
I'm an American, okay? It's just a common...
This is the cultural divide, of course. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was being culturally insensitive.
Don't appropriate our culture.
You're fucking like the ANCAP person, yeah.
Yeah, I genuinely, if this is the arguments I'm gonna get, like, oh, it's a moral argument, so it therefore cannot be used as an actual argument. It's gonna be like.
But the whole point of anarcho-capitalism is a moral argument.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I should have responded with that. Now that I think about it, but oh well. I blocked him. I was like, nah, bro, you literally bait people on a server which is purely used for video gaming, and you expect me to respect you having these opinions. Nah, bro, fuck that shit.
Where else?
No.
Nah, because literally, so the whole conversation started by someone asking the same question I asked you about the renovations. You know, like, is it ethical to do that as a country who stole that shit off people? Like, and he comes out with, no, it's not ethical for either party because the government doesn't have any rights.
But it's not the government that's doing this, it's the institution of the British Museum, which may be funded by the government, but it isn't the government.
Yeah, and is like I was asking, so what about national parks? What about, all this shit that is maintained by the government? Well, it shouldn't exist because the government's
even anarcho-capitalists are like, the national parks are good. Like, what the fuck?
No, but this is weird because I asked him. So I asked, like, are public parks not good then? And it's like, well, I don't believe them to be public parks because they're owned by the government, and the government should not own them regardless.
You gotta protect them somehow.
And I was like, so you just have a problem with the wording then? It's not a problem with the fact that they're owned by the government. It's just the fact that, one, you don't believe the government should own anything, and secondly, you have a problem with the wording by the fact that it's called public. I'm just confused. It's like, what?
All right, I'm back.
Yeah.
Hey,
I found the bill.
Ow.
It's not passed. It's just through the Senate, judiciary thing.
Neat.
So essentially, it's not gonna. I doubt it's gonna pass because it basically went to the House, not to the Senate.
I gotcha. Theorem, how the fuck did that dude burst fire that M1 Garand? How the fuck is that even physically possible?
That's bump firing. You just put your finger halfway through. It's a semi-automatic weapon. So what happens is it fires a bullet, and then the recoil resets the receiver, and then it chambers another round, and then fires again once the trigger is pulled.
Yeah,
what
it's
you do is you put your
okay,
finger.
so do you position his finger in such a way where it bounces back and forth?
It bounces back and forth,
his body,
therefore resetting the gun the second the receiver.
So it shoots. It jiggles and moves, so he keeps the momentum of the shot bounces the trigger back into his finger,
which is easier with a bump stock. But as you can see, you can do it without a bump stock. You don't even have to have an assault weapon. You can just do it with a Garand.
Yes, Mr. Three character number word man. Fear me, for I have mastered the art of wiggle shoot.
Yeah. So the ban essentially is such: it would make it unlawful for a person to import, sell, manufacture, or transfer the following: all semi-automatic rifles that can accept a detachable magazine that have at least one of the following military features: either 1, pistol grip; 2, a forward grip; 3, a
Why
folding
the fuck is a
telescope.
pistol grip considered military?
It's just how they define it. It's just because they don't want to ban like a folding telescopic or detachable stock.
Dear
4,
Oh
grenade
no, they have
launchers.
banned handguns for they have pistol grips.
Um,
Yeah, I was gonna say, holy shit.
it's no, because this specifically says semi-automatic rifles that can accept a detachable magazine. So pistols would not fall under that category. Grenade launchers, barrel shrouds, or threaded barrels. Threaded barrels. Like, do they mean like Picatinny rails,
Threaded barrels? What the fuck does that mean?
or does it mean a? I don't know.
Mhm.
All semi-automatic rifles that have a fixed magazine with the capacity to accept more than 10 rounds. So, like a 20-round SKS is now illegal.
Why?
Fire stocks and any parts, combinations or parts, components, devices, attachments, accessories that are designed or functions to accelerate the rate of fire of semi-automatic rifles, but not convert the semi-automatic rifle into a machine gun. So no bump stocks. All
the
semi-automatic
fuck are
pistols
they
that can
on?
accept a detachable magazine and have at least one of the following military features: a threaded barrel, a second pistol grip, a barrel shroud, capacity to accept detachable magazines at some location outside the pistol grip, or semi-automatic version of an automatic firearm.
Is this what people feel like when, like, me and some German person here just talk German?
Yes.
Across the stream, is that what it feels
Yeah,
like?
this
When
is
I
exactly
listen to
what
the
it
German
feels like.
podcast, I'm like, this?
What the fuck is
I
this?
understand
Essentially-
none of the gun stuff.
Fuck is this?
Let me put this in layman's terms, Cheeseburger.
Yeah.
If you got too much tactical stuff on your gun, it's now illegal. But if your gun ain't tactical, it's still okay, and you can shoot kids with it.
It's not like the
Why
cops
does
are
it
gonna
have to
stop
be so
you.
cringe?
That's true. They'll help you, probably.
Yeah.
Good. Speaking
yeah.
of bills, did you see the news about the bill that passed recently with, like, what was it? Like, all the Democrats voted for it and 47 Republicans?
Oh yes, it was the
Gay marriage bill.
It was not just gay marriage. It was gay and interracial marriage. It was, I think, the Marriage Protection Act or something like that.
Jesus.
And they were just codifying these into existence because Justice Thomas said, "Hey, next thing I'm going to do is ban fucking interracial marriage."
Who's Justice Thomas again? Is he Dan
The
Black?
black
He is-
one.
He is one of the older Supreme Court justices who's conservative. The black one.
He's the black one.
The
yeah.
black one.
The
I mean, he's
black
not
one
the only
whose
black
wife.
Supreme Court justice, but
Yeah,
No,
but the one
listen,
you've
that's
heard of.
relevant. That's relevant because he wants to overturn the
Yeah.
trying to overturn some of the rulings for that would essentially mean like interracial marriage would become illegal. But he is interracially married.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
That
think
is
he's the
how
only-
all
he's
of
the
the
only
court is.
judge-
Voting against yourself.
He's the only.
Maybe he
black
hates his
judge of the
wife.
Supreme
I don't know.
Court
His
currently.
wife got him in a lot of trouble because she tried to overthrow the government.
Nice.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so-
when the Supreme Court came out and banned the spell fetus deletus,
No.
I found it funny that the Twitter reaction to it was from most, I guess you could call them liberals or left-leaning people, was to become exactly what they've been tutting at people on Twitter not to be, like in
They
the
have
span
been
of 5 seconds.
spouting the N-word like mad.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That was
It was basically like from that one movie with Gylo Man.
Yeah, trust me. Left Twitter was also making fun of them. Like
The thing is, it's also relevant that he's black because the guy who was the black Supreme Court justice before him was like pretty fucking liberal. Like he was very far left. Like, it wasn't very far left. Like not like the one guy on the Supreme Court who wanted to make the environment a legal person. But he was
that's
like,
better than corporations, I guess.
but then like the next guy basically went here and was like, yeah, I'm gonna be one of the literally probably the most conservative judges this court has ever seen. Like, Clarence Thomas isn't just, like, conservative by current Supreme Court standards. He's just straight up conservative by Supreme Court standards.
Yeah, he is pretty far right.
Jeez,
what
I
I-
feel
what
sorry
I-
for you
And
guys.
he's also pretty corrupt because like I think there was something involving his wife where he refused to recuse himself when she was involved with like radical like right wing action.
Yeah,
Oh
like,
wow.
what I do-
Do you see any
Holding
surprise on my
yourself
face?
accountable.
No, well, I don't see your face
Holding
right now.
yourself
I'm watching a screen,
accountable.
But you
What's
can imagine
that?
it.
I can imagine the lack of surprise on your
Hear
face.
the tone, imagine
what
it.
what I do like, however, is like I don't like Clarence Thomas as a person. He's a horrible human being, but I like that this is like it's gone up and shoved into people's faces that no, just because they're a minority does not mean that they lean Democrat.
Yeah.
Like it is something
And
they
I mean,
have to like face
This is
now.
something that I find a lot.
I mean,
of,
that's true about 99. That's about, I think it was like 91% of black people are like registered Democrat. Like it's like an insanely like large number.
There is
like-
there is one thing though that I often find, and I think this is perhaps even more so with people in Europe, where it's like they know, but they don't want to like think about the fact that a lot of minorities are extremely socially conservative, like as a
Absolutely.
culture.
There are tons. There are tons of minorities, that are, including like if there are minorities who are part of the Democratic Party. There's also still conservative members of them. They just join the Democratic Party because the other party like actively wants to make their life a living hell.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
that's the main reason. It's not
I think
like,
if you look at like how like Cubans, like Cuban Americans tend to vote as opposed to like Mexican Americans, they tend to vote a lot more in favor of Republicans because of the fact that they were given essentially like different like treatment towards immigration policies from the Republicans.
Yeah.
Because they came from Cuba and there was the Cuban asylum thing.
I mean, Jesus.
yeah,
But they
a lot-
keep their
Yeah,
conservative values, and therefore, like, they vote Republican. Honestly, if Republicans weren't so fucking racist, they would do a lot better in a lot of like areas like that.
But, like,
They wouldn't be losing Texas right now.
if you
If
weren't
only
as
they weren't
racist.
so racist.
They wouldn't
That's a
be
good
losing Georgia
platform
and
on
Texas
anything.
at that point if they weren't so fucking
See,
racist.
kids, racism does not pay. You should stop being racist.
Stop being racist, yeah.
There you go. Now we fucking did.
You want to be rich. Stop being
Uh,
racist.
I've apparently
We've solved it.
I'm not
I'm-
racist enough.
I'm really waiting for the Elon Musk racism arc. That's like the next
Yeah.
step, I feel
I was like, I can't.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, he's
bro.
got to be
For
getting there.
Sure.
I mean, he at some point he
He's
needs
already
to-
said a couple things that were kind of out there, like how...
I mean, no, Burger, you forget he's South African. It's in his blood.
He can't
Yeah,
be
he's-
racist. He's
Yeah, but
from
he has
Africa.
been like very
No.
obviously,
He
you
can't be
know.
racist.
No, he hasn't been like
He is
overtly
racist. He's a
racist.
white
I mean,
South
if you remember, like, did you not hear about that story about like the Tesla, like Tesla, like had like a section like dedicated to black people there that they called basically the plantation, and
What
like
the
they would like,
fuck?
say
What?
the N-word constantly at work. Yeah, like I'll post the story for you, but
What the
Jesus.
fuck?
Tesla like has like ton of discrimination cases against them. So like,
Oof.
I don't think
I
Elon
mean-
Musk is like openly racist in public, but like his company's policies definitely are.
There's no smoke, or there's no fire where there isn't smoke, right? But I refuse to believe that bit. Like I can believe that there's massive amounts of racism at Tesla, right?
Yeah.
But I categorically refuse to believe that bit because it's too on the nose.
I don't know if you've ever like worked in like the tech like in like an office space tech industry, but they are fucking really racist. Like insanely racist. Like I work in like tech, especially like tech like that does like military and government contracting. So insanely racist.
Why do you think they're so? Why are they so racist? Do you think?
I don't know.
I think this might be
Boomers.
just
But yeah,
being
I can't
European.
believe,
No.
Tosh. I can't believe you'd be so racist towards an African American.
You know what it is? They're all gamers, so that explains it.
Yeah,
What?
it really does.
You are
actually,
right.
if you
No,
think
but
about it.
seriously, it's like it's a white South African. Have you not heard horror stories of like how racist those people are?
But
He
see,
can't be
that's
racist, he's from
prejudice
Africa.
on the other hand. Just because he's a white South African doesn't mean he's racist. You know what I mean? It's
He's racist because his company is racist, and also his father was racist.
Doesn't he hate
Well,
his
yeah,
dad,
but that
though?
one, like
Like,
that
the-
once again, you know, like that's like the
Wait,
apple doesn't fall too far from the tree
wait.
type shit.
Wait.
Listen,
wait.
we've connected
Talk
point
about
A to
Elon's
point.
dad.
We've connected point A and point C. Point B is right in between those two. All right. I feel.
Do you guys know Elon Musk's dad has married and has had sexual intercourse with his stepdaughter? I
Yeah,
don't
that
know why I
is-
said it like that.
Yeah,
but I did.
and said something along the lines of like, "It's our duty on this planet to reproduce."
reproduce.
It's really fucking weird.
It was gross. If you read the whole thing, it was even weirder.
I love the
Let's have some
weird
s-
justifications that rich people come up with for being insane.
Yes.
He must have like a really small ass dryer too.
Like that's
What?
the if I was rich,
someone else found the article for me. Cool.
if
I
I was
mean,
rich, I would be like, just I'm rich, dude. That you literally cannot stop me from being insane.
Yeah.
Like if you want to see,
That's literally
what-
how they do it.
If you want to see,
They're
what
like, I
being
can just
rich-
pay any fines. It doesn't matter.
Oh, never mind. This was actually worse than I thought.
this
According
is,
to
yeah,
law,
this is
Elon,
way worse than you thought, dude.
according to lawsuit, Elon Musk's tech company segregated black workers into areas that other employees refer to as porch monkey stations, the dark side, the slave ship,
The
and
slave
the
ship.
plantation.
The plantation is the mildest one.
I know. I
I
just heard
know,
the
I was
plantation
like-
one. I didn't hear the first
You
couple.
did not
dude.
prepare me for.
I think the dark side's probably the least bad of those, but that's still bad. Like it's the least bad is like most people's maximum racism.
Porch Monkey
The
Station is
graffiti
amazing
included
though.
phrases such as KKK, go back to Africa, as well as drawings of a noose, a Confederate flag, and fuck. Jesus
Jesus
Christ!
Christ.
Wow. These employees do not get laid, do
I
they?
told you.
This is some next level
he's
shit.
a white South African. They
There's also
are
miasma.
very
You are
racist.
aware that you can join the stream, right? You're a 50.
You're a mod and you
Yeah.
give him money. You get in here.
Yeah, Theo.
Get in with
He's
your
not a-
weird
he's-
reboot ass looking profile picture.
he's not a mod.
Insane.
One
He
worker
is not
said that they heard racial slurs as frequently as 50 to 100 times a day.
Dedicated
Bruh.
racists don't have
You know-
those kinds of numbers, dude.
I
I
know.
want to say
That is
I agree
Olympic
with-
level racism.
Like they just must
Holy
walk
shit.
down the hall to get water and just
Just
like hear
doing
the N word
numbers.
like by everyone they
Oh
pass.
my
Like,
god.
Yeah, can I say though?
Have you seen Sorry for Bothering You?
No, I haven't, but I wanted to
no,
see
but
it.
it's on my watch
It's a
list.
it's a
Definitely.
good one.
Yeah, I've seen it
for this
I've
kind
seen-
of thing.
I've seen a lot of like clips from it, and I thought it looked really good.
Jesus Christ.
What's it about?
It's about just like a black guy who is first he works at a call center and he's working his way up, so he goes to corporate and it's a whole like
It's
different-
It's the same actor who played what was the name? The one where he fakes being a KKK member while being a police officer. It's the same actor.
Sick.
Yeah. He plays in a lot of these black commentary movies.
That's cool. Oh shit, dude, the reactor's gonna melt down, brother. Oh no.
I want to say, speaking of racial slurs, I love this movie clip. This is like the last movie clip of this.
This is fun. I mean, I can't play movie scripts anyway, but like, holy that is. I mean, that's the level of racism there is like that's not like you know accidentally doing like a stereotype thing. Is like, oh,
one
but
step away from a
are
lynch
you
mob.
okay with probably parts of your family being criminals, or are you doing all right? That is not that.
And as
That
I
white
understand it,
woman's
this is
voice
class
is-
action from
This is
various
like-
employees. This isn't even
I
just
wanna
like one person's.
This
Like,
is Hollywood movie racism.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like obviously.
Oh my
like,
god!
the
Like
places
in
I work
Family
aren't quite
Matters.
that
Hollywood
bad, but I
behind
do.
movie racism is even
Listen,
worse.
I have heard the they are trying to control us through vaccines and shit like that at my work like all the fucking time.
There's a scene. There's a
That's
scene in
super
Big,
white
Family
big
Matters.
emphasis
Matters.
on they on that.
I mean,
There's a scene in
I was in an IRC group for like government system administrators, and some of this shit that all of us have seen has government workers are not nice.
They're not.
No, government workers. Holy shit.
It's well. I should also mention like
I mean,
the,
they work for the government. What do you?
I should also mention that I work for a company that like is contracts with like the army and shit. So like I also get like the fucking 80-year-old boomer ass generals coming in who just talk about how much they miss the days of segregation and all that.
They're
bullshit.
the worst. They're just like,
Jesus.
yeah, when I can just abuse people of color.
I can't. This is this is so fucking out there, dude.
One guy I saw, like, and I had to like, I had to like present shit to him because he was like working as like a requisitions officer with like the army or whatever, and like I taught like we were like sitting around and talking, and he basically just said like, yeah, I don't like coming down here without my gun like strapped on me because there's too many Puerto Ricans. I shit you not.
Oh my god!
I hear that so much, and it's like, no,
Bruh.
this is my gun for the minorities, and you're like, what?
I honestly,
Square
I may
bullets
just have
hurt
like.
more.
I say this often, but like, this is the kind of shit that wouldn't happen in Europe.
Reminder
Yeah.
that the Republicans
Unless,
blocked.
unless
by the
people
way,
are like, oh, it's like gypsies. In that case, there's probably
yeah, they.
Yeah, I was about to say, like,
Yeah, what were
let's
you-
let's
what
not
were you
mention the
saying?
gypsies.
What were you saying about the Republicans?
Oh yeah, I was a reminder. The Republicans recently blocked a bill that was going to go in. They would essentially make it so that the army has to report on figures about like white supremacist action in their forces.
See, this is.
I mean, of
this
course
is
they
such a
did.
fucked up thing because in Germany they recently disbanded whole fucking units because of white supremacy.
I can't.
Yeah. Well, if we did that here, we'd basically like
Just lose
The-
lose
the.
like
the
half the army.
government would collapse.
You
like,
lose
without,
half the
like,
army, wouldn't you?
The white supremacists, like, it would just become nothing because all the government people would just be
Yeah.
gone.
Is this like with like after the Nazis were defeated, and like 50% of government workers were like, yeah, so they kind of were like Nazis also. But the thing is, we don't have any other technocrat administrators. Like nobody knows how to do this shit.
Yes.
The Nazi Party based a lot of its like policies off of American policies at the time, especially like their eugenics programs and shit like that.
That's a bit of an American perspective on this. Look, Europeans are racist enough to come up with racist.
No, I don't mean that Europeans weren't racist. I mean that Hitler looked at eugenics programs America was doing and said, "That's nice. I would like to emulate that." Like he wrote about that.
Here's an interesting thing that I've been thinking about, right? Because I don't like it when people refer to it as the Germans. I much prefer when people refer to it as the Nazis. And I think it's more accurate I think we should really be referring to people to like groups of people who do certain bad things by the ideological affiliation that they have. Because there were so many Germans who were like anti-Nazi. There were so many Germans who were like, yeah, well, if I don't keep my mouth shut,
There were partisan fighters, weren't there?
I mean, I agree with that, but I think that's sort of applied to
in all of the countries that like the Nazis invaded, there were Nazi parties there. And they were the ones that were put in charge. And
That's
they
true.
were also resistance fighters there. So I think this is something like every country has its like fascist. I don't think that national allegiance or like not even allegiance, just the nationality that you're born with, should be a political term. Essentially, you know what I mean?
No, I understand that. I think it's just more just shorthand for what the government at the time was doing. Is what people usually mean. So like people will like say America banned abortion. Like obviously most Americans don't like that abortion was banned, but that doesn't necessarily mean that America didn't do it.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
I know that that's the case, but it's like one of those things where I'm like, it would probably be ideal if we didn't do that. It's not something.
No, I get your point. You could just say the Republicans did or the Supreme Court of America did it, but like it just becomes shorthand, especially if you don't have the full context of the political landscape of that country. You tend to view the government as like one entity. Like I have no idea what the political makeup of Lithuania is, but if Lithuania like did a bill that I wanted to talk about, I would still be able to talk about it.
Theodore Dickens just said like the Americans have stormed the Capitol and the Americans are very mad at them. Like that's basically it. Like I feel like in the kind of future that I envision, the political affiliation is much more relevant than like you would just be thinking about fascists, and you would understand that like there's fascists in every country.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm definitely not a fan of like national identities or borders, so I totally understand that.
You are not a fan of national identities and this really is very shocking news to me.
Big shocker.
It's a big surprise there.
Wait, why
I
isn't
would not
national
have guessed.
identity a good thing if it's not supremacist?
Cody,
National identity
I
a
would not
good
have
thing?
guessed.
I didn't say it was a good thing. I said it's a bad thing.
No, why is it a bad thing? Like, why?
Because I don't believe in the concept of nation states. So I don't think identifying as like an American or a German or something like that is all that conducive because I don't believe in the concept of them.
I wouldn't go that far, but then I am not
feel
an
like
anarchist.
I mean, I think I
Yeah,
know what
I
you're
know.
saying.
Fine,
I mean,
as a
like,
retard.
I mean, yeah. Well, welcome to the club.
I think having a few boxes are easier to communicate like what you mean.
I don't think it's
Other
inherently
people.
bad that like identify with like a nation, the nation or your nation you're from, but like taking it to like a supremacist thing is bad.
I
mean, like,
the
it doesn't
idea of
matter in the long run
identifying
'cause
with,
we're all
like a
students.
culture, perhaps not so much a nation.
Sure,
But then
I think
it's
it's different. I think there's collections of
Then
like
again-
cultural identities
then
that you
again-
can have, but like I feel like that's oftentimes we just sort of couch that inside of the concept of a nation state,
Yeah.
and we sort of meld the two together where
I
they're
mean,
not the same.
that was a big
I was about to
like
say,
this is
like-
that was a big thing with like nationalism was basically developed because we were like, you know, we don't need like the divine right of kings to define ourselves as a people. I think that really that's what it comes down to, at least like in the European context.
Yeah.
And
Ultimately, it gets really sticky when you try to think like what a nation is, because there's often like ideas of like nations that exist outside of the established border structures that we have. Like there's like the Native American nations. There's like black nationalism, like the idea that like black people are like an autonomous collective of like a culture.
There's
like,
a lot of, especially like as applied in colonialism. I feel like in colonialism and like post-colonialism, even the concept of nationalism was applied poorly. And I think this is a big reason for the amount of instability that exists in Africa. Is a lack of nationalism in like the philosophical sense of like this is not people groups that like these are just random people. This is like if you take fucking like half of Czechia and like put Bavaria to it and also add a little bit of Poland. This is not like a culturally. This is just groups that live next to each other. There is no
and that's still
national
issues.
identity.
Like I mean, you know, quite recently, I mean, the issues of like Sudan, right? Well, that happened in like early 2010s, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So the Sudanese were like basically two separate countries.
Just completely different in every way imaginable.
Yeah, like religion, culture, like language, like everything. Now, I think that we can come together as a people and all like coexist equally. But I think like forcing governmental control and national borders on like groups of people who just historically have not gotten along is not a great idea.
Well, you forget this is all due to imperialism, and imperialism is never any.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, most imperialist ideas were just done at the concept of like, I want this much land and I want this much land, and they argue back and forth about like who gets it.
Yeah, and then afterwards they were like, we could just apply the concept of nationalism along the same borders, really. Essentially, I mean, you know.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and it will all work
Wait,
out in the end.
yo. Sorry, everybody, fucking Chris Pine is in a fucking D&D movie.
Who is Chris Pine?
What the f...
Chris
The guy
Pine
played-
he's one of the many action hero Chris's that exist.
Wait,
he's
this
the one
actually
from
looks
Star
sick
Trek.
as fuck. Yo!
He was in, I believe, the Star Trek remakes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what
And some other shit.
What, with the Star Trek remakes or
Post-a-pic.
Star Trek Discovery?
No, I meant
no.
the films,
The
like the
movies.
ones made by J.J. Abrams.
Oh.
Yeah.
He played
I-
Kirk in that.
Post-a-pic or
Oh,
didn't-
no, I know the
post-a-pic
guy.
or
I
didn't
know the
have him
face
still
now
work.
of the guy.
Yeah.
that you're talking about.
And he's like in stuff, but he's never like that's like his main franchise is that.
Yeah.
He's like in
Wasn't
other
he also
shit.
John Carter?
I don't remember. I
I
barely
don't
remember John
remember
Carter
any of the
was.
films he's in.
I think John Carter was about Mars or something. I can't remember.
Yeah.
It's called John Carter of Mars. So
Yeah, I think
One
I
would
saw
hope
it in the
so.
theaters and then was like, oh, that sure
Well,
was
the
a movie.
movie
And
is just called John
I
Carter,
think
not
it's
John
just
Carter.
it's one of those which I actually found a very fascinating concept. You know, those like imagining alien planets before we had any fucking idea of what they actually looked like. Because John Carter from Mars is like a very old sci-fi. I have been working for a long time on like a sci-fi universe where the basically like space is very realistically done. It's kind of like The Expanse, but the actual planets are the way that like we used to imagine them before we had any idea of what the fuck was going on.
That sounds cool.
And it's also like Victorian and like imperial and shit. So you have like European and a lot of like other international empires just expanded to space.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say is that ancient civilizations, I think the earliest we have recorded was ancient Greek, or maybe it was ancient Roman, I can't remember. But like there was this story about a guy who goes into space with like...
Oh yeah, I love like, that story, dude.
Yeah.
I know the one you're referring to, but that one was like a parody. Where where he was basically parodying how incredible in the sense of like not credible a lot of the travel journals that were allegedly true were of people. And then he was like, yeah, and then we went to space and to the moon and we fucked a bunch of bitches and then we went to fucking the sun,
and then there
dude.
were candle people and shadow people and shit, and I was like, bruh.
That one is actually a really, really cool story. I don't remember what it's called. No, it's called A Remarkable Journey or something. But this is one of my, this is the poshest thing I've ever said, but this is one of my favorite ancient Greek plays.
Oh my god, you sound, look, I know I'm bougie as fuck, but that made you sound so bougie.
But it's literally about fucking like space aliens. Literally fucking space. It's Star Trek, basically.
What are we talking about? I'm sorry, I
this like ancient Greek play called A Remarkable Journey. I think that's what it's called.
Oh, is that the one? Is that the one where like? Is that the one where like a Greek poet was like pissed off of these like fake like journals of like yeah they go to the moon and shit. And there's like elves.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I love it.
Okay.
It's really
elves.
There's elves on the fucking
I'll have to read it.
I actually developed a whole City of Mist district based on that concept. So like,
nice.
like it's half the district is like modern sci-fi tropes, and the other half of the district is like that ancient shit.
God damn it, you bastards lied to me.
Yeah, that's basically... It's fucked up that those consoles are still on. Kind of a waste of energy.
What consoles?
The ones in the game.
In the Vidya game, yes.
Vidya.
No, the battery's still connected.
God damn it. You people lied to me. You lied to me.
I'm lying.
About that?
I'm really looking forward to the finale of Better Call Saul, though. I'm onto that.
Yeah, I need to start watching it. My bro was like,
it is so good.
You don't have to... Yeah, he's like, you don't have to watch Breaking Bad. I know you didn't like Breaking Bad, but watch that. Like,
hey,
it's better if you did watch Breaking Bad, because they bring back a lot of characters.
Yeah,
and
so
there's
that guy. Very minor spoilers, and it does enjoy the experience of like watching Breaking Bad. Like having seen it, if you've seen Breaking Bad, the series is more enjoyable. Although it is weird to like, I imagine like watching it in chronological order, because for instance, like Gus looks significantly older in the new show.
Did you see the thing where like a bunch of people got mad because they actually because they didn't realize that Gus was gay beforehand?
That was so fucking obvious, dude.
It was like the most
obvious thing that he was gay,
bruh.
Like an unfathomably wealthy drug cartel guy who lives alone.
No, not only, but like there's
the scene where Don Eladio like kills his
quote unquote brother, but they're not related.
Yeah.
My roommate.
His roommate, his friend,
like they're
good pal.
He's my business travel companion,
and he's like he's just a gay archetype too, like Gus Fring, like the straight laced type gay. I mean, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. No, but they didn't specifically show him sucking a cock, so no one caught on to it, I guess.
Dude.
Was it
Hey,
just
you gotta beat
comment?
people over the head with that stuff these days.
Was it just like a passing comment or something?
I don't know. I haven't watched the season yet. I just know the quartering got mad about it.
Of course,
Jesus.
I love the fact that all of those people have just become the new SJW. I love that because every time I was like, I hate the fact that these people are practicing media censorship. I was like, but like a lot of my politics align with this. I don't like that. But now it's like the right wingers who are like this. And it's like the balance has been restored to the
It's always been right wingers though. Like
no, that's not true though. That's just actually not true.
That's
there always been a fuck ton of people like Chris Reagan. You cannot, in all seriousness, call Chris Reagan a right winger. Like you
I'm saying it's no. That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
It's just all of his contemporaries.
I said it's always been right wing. It's always been right wingers who are like the anti fucking like art, like don't show this in art kind of people.
No, but this is the crucial thing of what I mean. I remember this being a big thing back in like you remember atheism YouTube days, right?
Yes.
I mean, of course you do. We're both like DP fans. So there's like, back then it felt like the world was in order because it was them who were like wanting to censor shit. And of course it was gonna swing back around eventually. But there was this window of time where the right wing somehow had obtained this monopoly on, which they're still banking on, even though it's like 1,000% no longer the case. Like, they're still selling themselves on, like, being these free speech warriors.
I mean, I guess in, like, the online space, there was a little bit of that, even though it was almost entirely performative by a lot of, like, people who were actually right-wing. Because obviously, like, people like Chris Reagan and, like, Amazing Atheists were liberals already.
That's why they were against
burgeoning leftists.
This is what always pissed me off, that you like.
The thing is, like, you even during the time of like Anita Sarkeesian and all that sort of bullshit or whatever, like you had like people like Jack Thompson and like basically every Republican politician saying video games cause violence. We need to regulate these. This is degeneracy. Yada yada yada.
I remember that being a big talking point by a lot of those channels. Like, no, you guys are supposed to be left wing. Jack Thompson is supposed to be the guy who says video games are bad, not you left wing people. Like that was a big talking point. And I like that basically this is no longer the thing. Like the balance has been restored.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now everyone wants to censor everything.
Speaking of which, I am part of a Discord that I got through on Patreon. I don't know if you know this guy, Appabend.
I've heard the name Appabend before.
Yeah, I know who Appabend is. Little fucking weeb.
Yeah, he's a big fucking weeb.
Yeah, I don't know who that
is. I like his content, but he's very weebish, so I don't necessarily watch him all the time nowadays because I'm mostly looking at coding shit now.
I am going to pop off, guys.
Actually, we do need to end the stream. We are over time on the stream anyway.
But yeah, bye everybody. I'm in his Discord. I'm in his Discord, and holy shit, it is exactly like you said. There are just so many right wingers on there.
I'm sorry. What's this person's Discord you're in? I'm sorry. Appabend.
All right, the seal on guns and all that.